Miranda from LS Music Promotions. She is a sponsor of our podcast along with Johnny Spells and Chris Helton from Ghost Project. And this is Clozure. If you guys have not listened, you really need to. They have major influences within the rock community, and they do reflect a lot of it. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Sure. Mike, I play the drums.
I'm Chris, aka Papa Bear. I play bass.
Joshua Hodge, lead singer. Mike C, guitar.
Matthew Russell, rhythm guitar, backup vocals.
All right. And I want to ask, how did you guys get together?
Wow. Years ago, I started this thing. It's really tough to get a band started in a small town. Find all the right people, to have all the right pieces in play and all. And it's up until probably about 3 years ago, we started getting the right pieces all put together whenever Mike joined the band. Me and Papa Bear, probably the longest in this thing here. Matt joined soon after, then him. Most recently, we got Josh here, which rounded out on vocals really, really well. But yeah, little town out of South Alabama, trying to get it together has been tough.
Enterprise, right?
Enterprise, yeah.
You guys are killer. I'm really excited for the show tonight. So thank you for coming.
Thank
and
you.
being with us.
Appreciate it.
Thank really excited.
Me and my best friend were jamming to your guys' music all the way down here. And every song I'm like, oh my God, that's this band, that's this band, that's their influence. I can hear it. But the one that I freaking love the most is Daisy. That eerie feeling, that just Rob Zombie feel of it is amazing.
Yeah, I took Daisy and Val. They kind of interlude together. And when my parents divorced, Daisy was for my mother and Val was for my father. So I just wanted something kind of sweet and mellow to run into a heavier session after that.
Kind of like Whitechapel does. He tells his story about his mom and his dad, and then it just goes from there. And they're an amazing band too.
Actually, on the ride up to Owensboro, or over as it be, from Louisville, we actually got a final copy. I hope I can say this, publicly, but we got our final mix and mastered back of a new song called "Burned Open."
Ooh.
We actually recorded it first part of the year, but we made some changes to it, and we're making sure to take our time and get it right. And you guys heard during sound check earlier, we've got a new song, "Walk in the Sun." It's not cliche for us. I know some bands write some great hits right off the bat and then struggle to write new music. I think collectively here, everybody would say that with each new song, we're growing both in terms of songwriting and our production element of it, knowing what we're looking for, what to tell the producers and engineers. And so we appreciate the compliment, but we genuinely mean when we tell you that the best is still on the horizon.
That's awesome. And it shows. It shows with every song that I've heard from you guys. You continue to amaze me.
Well, we're excited about the new stuff.
Yeah. Are you
Coming
playing
out.
some new stuff tonight?
Yes, ma'am.
Yay.
We'll have Burned Open early in the set, and kind of mid set right after the Daisy Valve, we'll break out Walk in the Sun, and tonight will probably only be the 4th or 5th time that it's ever been played publicly. So
Awesome.
Oh, that's
We're in for a
amazing.
treat. Yay.
we're so proud of it. We actually have studio time in September already booked up in Tennessee to get that done. Am I correct on the Tennessee part?
Yeah, it's in Nashville.
Yeah. So we're
All right, I'm going to let you drop a little thing. Who's your production company?
Production
company.
Yes,
is
the one that you, studio.
the studio we're going through right now that we've just started working with is
Sound Emporium.
the Sound Emporium in Nashville. We
Yeah.
previously worked with, and we still do, with Strident,
Yes, sir.
which is out of Montgomery.
Montgomery, Coattail.
Coattail's fantastic.
Yes.
So we're trying some different things, as we progress through our music. So we're trying a different studio.
I would say
so,
Papa Bear probably helped produce Burned Open and Foolish Man.
yeah.
Agreed.
I love
Flash
Agreed.
Man.
Did a great job on that. And
all
little
the
tidbit.
backup vocals and everything like that was all,
Yeah.
putting us in there.
We talked about our relationship in terms of the length of time in this band, but I actually met Chris the furthest to go. We actually worked the same job over 20 years ago, and he had a home recording studio at the time, and so he's been recording and mastering music since any of this even dreamed
Right.
about becoming Clozure.
So did you guys grow up knowing you're going to be rock stars? Or did you just kind of fall into it?
Pretty sure we're not there yet.
You know, but I mean, in my,
Okay,
in my
in your
eyes,
mind,
yeah,
in your mind,
you're not.
are you
but
a
in
rock
our eyes,
star?
You're a rock
No.
star.
Okay, you guys are humble. I really like that.
Honestly, that perception is humbling for sure. You know, anybody comes up and they throw that title at you, is a very cool feeling. But our hearts and our core belief behind this group is really just a bunch of guys who love playing music together, who hopefully can pass on the message of each song to that fan.
Right.
You know, and that's really all that rock star stuff is cool. You know.
So maybe more like heartfelt, talented artists.
There we go.
I just use the term rock star.
No,
'cause it's,
we're
you
grateful
know.
for that. Don't
But
get, you know.
I mean, you really have, just since I've started listening to you guys, your music has made an impact, and so I was really excited to get the opportunity to book you guys,
Well,
and then
we
we actually
appreciate
get to book you twice.
Yeah.
So we're gonna play again in August.
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 Yeah.
So that's gonna be a killer show.
I knew there was another show.
Yeah.
I knew because I've got all your things on my calendar. So
What you just said means more than anything.
That's
Yeah.
right.
The idea that it spoke to you and it caused you to feel something.
And
Absolutely.
That means more than any of this.
Yeah.
and when
And
we
it's
see our Spotify numbers or YouTube views, or if some of these songs do start charting in the near future as we get on more radio stations, we just look at that as opportunities of people to reach
Right.
more so than that's us supporting them just as much as them supporting us in our minds.
Absolutely.
Okay. You said radio stations.
Mhm.
What radio stations are you on right now?
Our Foolish Man debut was on 97X. I want
Yeah.
to give those guys
Panama.
a shout out.
Yeah.
out of
Not
Panama
our
City.
97X. We got a 97X too, but they don't.
It's, I know it's one they're talking
Yeah,
about.
Panama
I'm,
City.
I'm
Yeah.
giving the thumbs down because they don't
yeah.
play our music.
Just with Foolish Man alone, I think we're at 30 or 40 different radio stations nationwide.
Nice.
So
That's
it's
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, just wanted to give them a shout out since they
The
did our
97X
international
premiered
release.
it for us.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
big
awesome.
part.
Yeah.
yeah.
They were able to release it before we had even released it yet. So they did a premiere for us. So that
Very
was really
cool.
Yeah.
I think
I have heard about that radio station. They do a lot for upcoming artists.
They
don't
really do.
They really
they
do.
follow my
Yeah.
podcast and they've been promoting it on their page.
And
That's
actually.
awesome.
And even up here in Kentucky, we know you guys like to travel to Panama City, Destin area. They do a lot of the promotions and a lot of the scheduling of the bigger events down there.
So them and the Sound 228, they
Yes.
really work a lot together, and they're fantastic guys and better organizers. I mean, it's a fantastic job that they do.
Well, the farther south you go, the more in the rock music you get. Up here, it's very country.
we actually
Yeah.
just visited the
Bluegrass
Hall of
It's
Fame.
pretty
thing
cool.
we did, yeah.
I like bluegrass,
I haven't been there
not
in
so much
years.
country. I
Yeah.
like country, but I like old country.
Right.
Yes.
Bluegrass
So
is
I'm
like heavy metal country. It
Yeah.
really is, yeah.
It's good.
Okay, my next question is: you guys are split, and I'm sorry, just because I know you guys, you're what drives the songs, the drums, the bass. You set the tempo. You set. How does that feel to know that you're when you see everybody out there bobbing their heads? How's that feel to you?
That's what us bass players do, you know what I'm saying? We set the mood for the song. We hit that groove, he hits that backbeat,
Yeah.
and they just play along.
But you control an audience. I mean, no,
Who's got
but you
this?
do.
We'll tag
I don't mean that any disrespect.
I'm talking about it's all good.
But when it comes to it, you guys are. I mean, you guys actually control the audience on how they're going to react and everything. That has to feel powerful, not controlling, but powerful. A powerful feeling in you.
Oh, for sure. I mean, but it can catch you off guard too, because if you make a mistake and they're head bobbing to the wrong thing, they'll let you know real quick. You know?
Yeah.
Ooh, there we
You
were.
can't, you can't hide either one of them.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
No,
We can't miss it.
Yeah.
no, you mess up it all.
It's a lot of fun though to see the interaction because of the feeling. Because that's really what when you feel that bass or that bass drum kick, you feel it throughout your whole body. Like, it just transforms you. You know,
That's
I
what
think
12-inch
that's what.
subwoofer's for.
That's exactly right.
My Jeep, I've got him like hitting the. As soon as I know what song it's getting ready to do a breakdown, and I turned it up. I've always loved that section of it. But what is your guys' main influence when you write a song?
Emotion.
Yeah.
Emotion is just
Oh, that's a
emotion.
good. That's a good answer.
I know that's dynamic, but that is us. It could be a personal family matter. It could be a relationship. With something else. It's just I was when I came in and I tried to learn. You heard I was the last one in, and so I'm trying to sing some songs that previous people sang and previous people wrote. And so I would ask all of these guys. I wanted to know about Val. I had to ask him personal questions about that divorce. And him on this latest song that he's written, because it's important to me to not just try to sing those lyrics in the most key, but I want to express that emotion of what it was written by and put myself into that position, so that other people can feel that as well.
Yeah.
Every song has a story. That's the thing. You talk about each song, each one of the songs that we've written have a story.
And why Chris is so good at producing, the dynamics of the song have to fit that emotion.
Right.
Independent.
Mm-hmm.
Someone may play a great part, or I may hit a note or miss a note or whatever the case may be. But I could miss a note that the emotion was right, and Chris would be happier with it than a perfectly played guitar line that didn't fit the dynamic of the song. We scrapped a good bit of quality material on this last record to make sure that we didn't lose the emotion of the song.
And the storytelling is what's important. It's if you're able to translate the stories into your music, that's how you reach the audiences, and then that's where all the rest of the rock star stuff comes from. So, I have a question. What was it like being a band in the COVID era? How was that for you guys? That's a big one I like to ask everybody because
COVID
everybody's
gave us two
responses are different.
choices. You can either work on what you do and try and get much better than you ever were before, or you can sit on your butt at home and not do anything and get worse. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys all have pretty elevated ideas.
And it affected us as far as going up and probably playing one of our first really big shows. We were supposed to go to Michigan and play at Summerfest, and I was the lucky winner of catching COVID, and we didn't get to. We missed out on a lot of good opportunity and everything like that. But having such support up in Michigan for Summerfest, everybody was so grateful for us to be there the next year, and we're really looking forward to going back this year as well.
You're up in my home area.
And
I'm from Chicago.
They treat us great.
Oh
up
yeah,
there.
Michigan
It's
is
awesome.
fantastic.
And Michigan is fantastic.
You know,
Michigan loves rock.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
what everybody
really
says.
do.
Oh
Michigan
my God,
loves
they
rock.
do.
I mean,
Yeah.
Kid Rock, Hypervale. I mean, all those guys are coming out there.
And
I love
it.
one cool thing about it is that everybody was at home, and not just us. You know,
Yeah.
we could feel sorry for ourselves. We weren't out making money or meeting fans or doing whatever. But the people that did enjoy our music, they were at home too. Everybody was stuck at home. So when we did interact on social media, when we did post a video of what we were doing, it gave us a little bit of time to more personally connect with some fans on that basis because we were at home than we could on a night like tonight, where unfortunately we won't be able to have this type of conversation with everybody that's here, even though we might like to take that time
Right.
that COVID afforded us the time to do.
Yeah.
Well, and I think just as individual musicians, we were able to really kind of take time away from the band needs and focus on our own needs. You know, for me specifically, that's really what it helped me become a better writer for these guys, is being able to take that time and hone my own craft and work on my weaknesses to kind of make those things better for the overall group. And I think we came out swinging.
Yeah, because I feel like when we first started, me and Porter, we have such a different guitar playing style that I pretty much grew up playing like math
Gang
metal,
Train.
progressive rock, Tool, things of that nature. And he had a lot of blues influence. And,
Stuff like Tesla, stuff like that. I love. So melodic.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
at home I have like over 4,000 vinyls.
Yeah.
And they range all the way from like 5 years ago all the way down to the 40s. And I take influence from all of them. And it don't matter what
Muddy
genre.
Water stuff and all that's.
Oh, God, Muddy.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
I think COVID forced everybody to take a lot of things less for granted.
Mm-hmm.
Access
Sure.
access to our medicine, access to shipments, access to our jobs.
Toilet
I mean, yeah.
Toilet paper, yes.
So
That was a real struggle in my house. I got 5 babies.
but,
Ooh.
So I mean, I would say that even though indirect to the music itself, it had to have changed both our perspectives, and I think the fans were a little more appreciative when we could open up venues and things as well. So I think that was a win-win.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need that, right? I mean, that's what we
We
prune
need to
trees.
reset.
We prune trees to let the roots catch up, and that maybe COVID did a little of that for us.
Well, for me, going through COVID, I beat cancer twice.
Oh, wow.
Within it.
God
Congratulations.
bless
And
you for that.
Yeah.
you're talking about the
Yeah.
medication.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I had so hard time getting my medication. And it was like, okay, I'm not taking the pharmacy for granted no more because it was hard. I mean, and then I have a son in a wheelchair.
Wow.
And getting him to and from anywhere was impossible because it was, oh, you can't go here, you can't go here. Well, you can't do things, but it made everybody in this country, in this world,
Yeah.
reset.
Yeah, it definitely did a lot of resetting. And I think it did a lot of resetting for the music industry too.
Sure.
Unfortunately, a
Wait,
lot of venues
did-
closed down. Like
Yeah.
that's reality.
Yes.
But
Mine
yeah,
did.
yours did.
Mine
You
did.
know, a lot of venues closed down, so there's less opportunity right now for artists to play live that I'm seeing. But
Well,
I
it created
think
a
we've all-
backlog too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now everybody's trying to get
got
back
their
on
new
that
stuff
stage.
out, and everybody tried to get their new stuff
Yeah.
out at the same time.
Right.
Look, I don't want to overstate this. Two of these guys, they need to get a little recognition here. They both served our country.
Absolutely.
Okay, and so we learned, to your point about your bar, we learned, you know, in one sense, musicians are not essential workers, but at the same time, and you saw this throughout as the time went by, people were reaching out. People needed music, and music helped unify us after some of the division that both COVID plus that year's election plus.
All right.
Okay, racial situations going on in the media at that time. Music helped unify.
Yeah.
And that was so big, right? So is it essential or not? Because
It's definitely
I- I-
essential.
It is.
and
I call music universal language.
and I
Absolutely.
think that it took that little bit of them determining that it wasn't essential for a few months to see just how essential music brings people together and heals as COVID has hurt,
Right.
including loss of business, loss of life, cancer, unfortunately. But you know, the number one thing there, I want to shout out these two guys on their
Thank
military
you.
service.
Yeah, thank you for
But
your service.
but
Thank you.
but
Yeah.
music is essential to so many things. So
Dang sure is.
What does your families think about this?
loaded question.
About being on tour, living.
Loaded
It is
question.
hard.
Yeah, it's got to
I
be.
got two brand new twin boys, so they're about to be 5 months old.
Oh,
But to be able to step out there in life and chase your dream, and allow them that opportunity so your children can understand that they're able to chase their dream.
right.
And that you can have those priorities and you can set those boundaries and you could be creative in life and you can live your life to the fullest. And it's just, I'm very supportive of my family.
Mhm.
So, and we love it.
I
You
think we're all really supported by our families individually. I mean, there's just no way we'd be able to do this without
Without
them,
it.
you know what
Right.
I mean? And I personally, I work overseas. I work in India. So it's like I work overseas for my full-time job, and then when I come home, it's strictly for band stuff. So like my wife and children, like they're just, when you see people on stage, and this is going to sound kind of arrogant, but that's not what I'm going for. But you see these actresses and actors and musicians, and they're getting these awards, Oscars and Emmys, and it's like, I want to thank my family for all the sacrifice. Well, this is what they're talking about.
Right.
It's a lot of people don't understand like the sacrifice you take to make this thing come to fruition, and that is for sure what our families do for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Your family?
Next.
I know what's taking turn. No, my wife just wants me out of the house. That's all that is. 3 years.
Okay, yeah, you read that term.
When Matt got sick, I actually wasn't in the band, but I knew him personally. I owned a Clozure T-shirt as a fan at the time, and made sure that he had time off from work to be able to go do that before he got sick. But the thing that our families know and that we know about each other, and we couldn't survive the ups and downs of the road, because one night you're playing in front of a packed people of your friends and family, and the next night you're playing to the other bands, if them,
Mhm.
and that's part of it.
Oh,
But
that's got to be tough too.
we all are there for each other, and our families are there for each other, and they see that. They see the pureness in that too. So like, I've only met Chris's wife one time, but she knows who I am, and she knows that I'm there for their family, whatever the need be, not just music related. And Mike's wife helped us out last night in a situation, and we all pick up the load when we can for each other, and that's contagious. If there was more of that in everyday life, we would all be better off. So that helps our families, in my opinion. The wives and spouses that I know,
Oh, yeah.
they when they're making a sacrifice for me, that's not just, oh, you're helping him out, you're not here at home. No, they know we would help them if the problem had been at home. So
That's like me and my boyfriend. He's actually on her roster twice,
Yeah,
in 2 different bands, and we have
I know he
separate
gets around.
Yeah, we have separate lives. He's a drummer, and he's amazing at it.
And he's in 2 incredibly talented bands.
Yes. But for me, I have my own life. I'm traveling to Louisville, Lexington, Nashville to interview bands.
Right.
And I take off and I leave, but I know I have his full support. Like he sent me money. Just have fun tonight.
Yeah.
Or I'll send him a gift. It's whatever. And a lot of times I'm with him promoting them, promoting his bands, taking pictures, doing video. It means a lot to have your family there. And for me, it does. I'm on the road like you guys are. I don't get to stay home very often. My son is 24 years old. He don't want me around. You know, I don't really want to be around and know about his life either.
The first weekend that he was back from India, his wife ran our merch booth. His daughter is actually going to be doing that for us. And several of the shows next week. And we're with you on that. And, you know, we take advantage of what time we can together, you know, both as family and as a band.
Well, it's like with my with LS Music Promotions. This was I started it when I was 15 years old. Not started this, but I started promoting when I was 15, and it was always a dream of mine. Yeah, I was doing concerts for like back in the day of the Christian hardcore scene when it was like
Angels and
metal.
Demons.
It was back in those days, and so I was putting on shows all over the Southeast, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was 15 years old, but I knew I had a passion for it. So we grew up, got married, had kids, and then now our kids are older than us. We're like, bye, Felicia, we're going to do a music business. And so we started it up, and it's 2 full-time jobs. I work full-time for a bank, but I also run this music business full-time, and it takes a lot of sacrifice and a lot of difficulties in our marriage because I'm a bit of a workaholic. Like, I am literally like this. And she knows, she sees our schedule, and we're pretty tight. So
we get that. We all have full-time jobs on top of it.
Yeah, and that makes it even harder.
And like Josh was saying a second ago, my daughter and son-in-law are coming out to help run the merch booth and stuff next week, which is kind of fun. My daughter's like 28 now. Yeah. So I'm the oldest one here. But here's the deal.
You are.
It's just like Matt said. He sucks. It's love you, man.
I'm the baby.
But it's just like
You guys like it too.
Biggest baby
I'm not
you
going
ever
to ask
seen.
anybody's ages because I feel like we're going to feel old. Probably do.
You
so.
probably won't.
Yeah, you probably won't.
But that's the thing about it is what Matt said earlier really matters because whenever you do this, you got to let your kids know, let your family know that it doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter how you screwed up your life.
Yep.
You can do what you want to do if you choose to do that.
Yes.
And you put everything you have into doing it. And then circle yourself with the right people.
That's a big part of it, is having that.
Because you become who your friends are.
My
That's how it
podcast,
works.
I started 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my friend Alex, we lost our best friend back in 2016 or 15, sorry. And we were like, we want to work together again, but we didn't know what. And I called him up. I'm like, hey, I want to start a podcast. And we've actually I went to the Pride Fest, and they're like, oh, you're Random Noise, and I'm like, hi.
Yeah, how does that feel? Like, oh, you're Clozure.
That is like the weirdest feeling ever. You're like,
I was in Panama City Beach at a bar. Me and some buddies of mine went down there. We were just having a good time. You know, it was one of my vacation weekends or whatever. So I came down and we were hanging out. And the bar came out and gave me a shirt because they were fans of who they were. All they asked was I just wear it on tour. And I was like, I can do that.
That's awesome.
yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, that note when somebody recognizes you, there's not quite another feeling like that.
No,
like that's one of
there
those that only happens like that.
Yeah.
I'm a bass player, so I wouldn't know anything.
Oh, Papa Bear.
Well, with me, it was difficult because I'm with my daughter and we're looking at stuff for her. She's getting married in October, and I have people walking up to me and asking me, "You're Random Noise," and I'm going, "Yeah, but you know," and it didn't bother me, but it was such a weird feeling of going, I don't know who you guys are, and I have issues with people getting around me, and I'm like,
Well, you got in the wrong business, honey.
Yeah.
oh no, I'll get used to it. I'm just not used to getting the
I know.
attention. I'm used to promoting everybody else to get the attention. I'm
Right.
behind the scenes. So starting this at 40 was one of my things of saying, on my 40th birthday, I said, no offense, fuck it, it's time for me.
Mhm.
And when I said that, it was like everything fell in place. And we have got some amazing bands coming up on the podcast that is going to shock everybody. And we've only been active for actually 2 months.
Yeah, because your first one was in May.
Yeah, I have.
At our
There's
show.
tattoo on me.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Because here's the thing I do. I issue a challenge to bands.
Mhm.
Because my thing is every podcast I do, I learn something. And I have a thing, I'm not going to put a tattoo on me unless it means something. If you guys can teach me something I didn't know, before the end of the night, I will get Clozure's tattoo put on me.
Oh shoot.
She's going to be a walking band memorabilia wall before too long.
What kind of thing that you don't know?
Music wise.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Like last one was Black Lodge had to teach me to growl.
Like Screaming Growl. They're
like
like
Screaming
a metal
Growl.
band.
Oh,
Yeah, they had to teach me to do that. And I'm like, when I sing, it's Alison Krauss high. And so it was they got it within a half hour of the end of the show. So I've got their tattoo on my thigh.
That's cool. Yeah.
I love you guys, but I'm not going to get the tattoo.
I don't care.
That's okay.
I
Yeah.
get it.
I would love to, but
We wouldn't want anybody that non-committal.
That's right.
yeah.
I can teach you the drum fill for the entrance of Foolish Man.
Okay, you teach me that, and I don't care any song.
Okay.
You can be Happy Birthday. I don't care.
I'll go with her to get the tattoo, and I'll watch.
We can absolutely do that.
Actually, Chris Helton of Ghost Project is my tattoo artist,
And he's a sponsor.
and he is a sponsor of my show. But he's also a musician himself.
Awesome.
So when he does a tattoo on me for a band, he feels what I feel, and it's amazing, and we clicked.
That's cool. That is.
That is cool.
I can't shout at him enough. I can't.
Yeah, I never get anything put on. I'm pretty sure they don't either unless it matters.
Yeah,
That's
every one of my
cool.
tattoos has a meaning,
Mhm.
and except for the tramp stamp. You know, you got your one mistake in life.
Yeah, I got
That
one.
one was
That was my
18.
that was my second husband.
Just kidding.
And I just want to.
You got a tramp stamp?
I do.
I just want to say for the record, we appreciate you guys interviewing us, but it's nice. I'm glad to learn about what motivated you to start this as well, and
That was expensive.
we'll
Hope not.
Oh, your ears.
yeah.
Ooh.
You don't need them.
Still turns on. We're good.
Okay.
But thank you for sharing that as well, and congratulations on your success upcoming, and glad to be a part of it.
It's gonna be crazy for the next summer. I am traveling as far down to New Orleans for they're actually paying me to come down there, interview them.
That's awesome.
You'll be
awesome,
hearing you'll be hearing a song tonight called "Bourbon Street Angels."
Yeah.
So
I love my Bourbon Street.
maybe you can
I was
have that
born in
in
New
your head.
Orleans.
That was written about some experiences in New Orleans.
That's
Oh,
one
that's
place I haven't
scary.
been
'Cause
yet.
I've had
Never been to New
experiences
Orleans?
down
Not
there.
yet.
Oh, shoot, you better.
Yeah,
I know. I gotta
yeah.
go so bad. I want to do all the haunted stuff.
That's a whole nother ballgame.
That's my
down
whole
there.
goal.
And it
Go
talks
down
about
there
a
for
lot of
haunted
different
stuff.
areas there too. When you listen to the words of it, it talks about places there and things that happen in it.
That's the place you got to go for sure.
You really-
I
Yeah.
went and hunted
And
I went
especially,
and hunted the serial killer
just for your
house
love of
down.
music,
I mean,
Yes.
any music.
Yes.
The Ghost Tour, Vampire Tour, all those things are awesome down there.
I don't get in all
I know
that.
what we're doing for our next
Yeah.
conjoined interview.
I'm
We're going to
for
New
New
Orleans.
There you go. I go there talking about.
LS Miranda Noise heads to New Orleans. It'll be like Thelma Louise of music.
Dude.
I'm just kidding.
unsupervised. It has to be unsupervised. That's the only way I go to New Orleans.
Hey,
You can
I'll
super-
supervise you.
It's a good time. It is a good
It
time.
is. It is.
You supervise. Yeah, don't turn your head. I'll end up in strip clubs. Trust me, I know where they're at.
Throwing dollar bills, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, I know we got a couple other bands to sound check, and I don't want to keep you guys too
Yeah.
long.
Tell everybody where they can check this out and check out more of your
Yeah.
future
Yeah.
interviews.
I am.
Sure.
You can check out Random Noise on all streaming platforms. You can look up Random Noise 2023 on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Christian Mingle, I believe.
Farmers Only.
Yeah, we're all out there. I'm trying to find Alex, my actual co-host, a wife. Just to let you know, put it out there.
Christian Mingle.
We'll,
You heard it here first.
when we get,
Oh, my
when we get a
God.
copy of this ourselves, we'll try to put some of the links to your podcast for future
Yes.
reference along with it.
And you can also find this on LS Music Promotions YouTube channel. We have very little on there right now. I haven't had the time to interview the bands, but us being able to team up has been a benefit for both of us.
Yes,
So,
I agree.
and if you guys want a concert in the Kentucky area, hit us up. Facebook is where it's at.
If you can't find her, look up Random Noise and I'll get the message to her.
There you go.
Sure.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you
I
so much.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah.
You stopped that for me. I'm too short. I'm like literally.
The tall
5'8".
guy's got to do it. I can't do it.
Christian Mingle.